Hey guys, it's Coach Jennifer from X10 Archery, and today we are going to be talking about working with your stretchy band. Now, stretchy bands are one of my favorite ways to do SPTs. Some of you may know SPTs by their affectionate nickname, specific physical torture. That's not actually what it stands for. It stands for specific physical training. Sometimes it feels a little bit like torture. That's okay. So you might be wondering, why on earth would I train with a stretchy band when I could be out shooting my bow? So if you look at the timestamp on today's video, you will notice that today in Houston, in Texas, we are under a stay-at-home order. And that means that we are practicing physical distancing, we are staying home. So that means that our range is closed. Some of us are unable to go outside and shoot. This is also extremely helpful in the winter for everyone who lives in the north. And, sometimes down here it does get a little bit cold. But if it's negative, 3 degrees outside, you don't want to be out there shooting your bow. You need another way to train when you're not at the range. And a stretchy band is a perfect way to do this. So, there are a few different kinds of stretchy bands. This one is my particular favorite. It's just a long latex band. You can do all kinds of great stuff with it. I use it for my warm-ups. I use it to get ready for competitions. I also use it for general exercise. There are other stretchy bands like these that are in loops. Some people like the loops better because it feels a little bit more like your bow grip. There are also some that are corded, and the cords are a little bit heavier. So you can choose your stretchy band weight. You can go from super light to super heavy depending on what your goal is. I prefer super light. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start my stretchy band workout is I am going to look at my goals and my journal to figure out what it is that I am going to be focusing on today during my training. Because we know the difference between practice and training is that training is practice with a purpose. Without a purpose, we are not doing our best to achieve our goals. And so every time we train, we are practicing with a purpose. So some of you may know that I am rehabbing from an injury. And so a challenge that I am having is keeping my bow shoulder down. And this is an excellent way for me to practice the way my arm needs to be positioned and the way I need to set up my shot so that my bow shoulder is in exactly the right position. So we're going to go through 3 stretchy band exercises today, and I hope that they will help you. So our first is we're going to practice keeping our bow arm down. Now there's 2 ways you can work with your stretchy band. I prefer to do it like this, where it's just kind of loose and I can adjust how much I can pull back. So when I'm stronger, I like to have it so that it's about the length of the pretension that I put on my bow. But like I said, I'm a little bit weaker, so I'm going to give myself some more room so that my stretchy band is lighter. And to practice keeping my bow shoulder and bow arm in its appropriate place, I'm going to go through my shot process. It's very simple, very easy. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my feet, because that's where we start. We always check our feet. So I'm going to check my feet. I'm going to set my grip. I'm going to set up. I'm going to draw back, anchor. And now, if you're like me and a bit controlling, I like to do my stretchy band practice either with video or in the mirror so that I can see what my technique looks like while I'm doing my training. So we're going to go one more time, and this is really simple. We're just going to go through our shot process. So here's what mine looks like. Ready? So I'm going to set my bow hand. I'm going to set my hook. I'm going to pre-tension. I'm going to set up. I'm going to draw back, anchor. I'm going to do my transfer, and then I'm going to expand and release. And that's it. It's super simple. I'll do it one more time. All right, so here we go. I'm going to set my hook. Make sure my bow hand is set. Put my pre-draw on. Set up. Draw back. Transfer. Release. And now if I'm using either a mirror or video, I can see what my bow shoulder looks like. Is it high? Is it low? And in the right spot? Am I rotating? What does my shot look like? So, another thing that you can do with your stretchy band that's extremely helpful is making sure that you're getting a consistent anchor. When we use our bow to practice our consistent anchor, we tend to rely on the clicker. With a stretchy band, you can't do that. It's just you and this piece of plastic, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice coming to anchor, making sure that I'm hitting that spot every single time. And this is an excellent time to use video so that you can make sure that your hand is coming right here every time so that you can see that I have a nice tight anchor. And this is how I practice setting my anchor. I'm not going to go through my whole shot process. I'm just going to go through the part that I'm working on. So I've already gone through everything, and I'm going to draw and I'm going to anchor. And I'm going to feel it, I'm going to check and say, yeah, that feels pretty good, and I'm going to let down. I'm going to draw, anchor, check, yep, that feels good. I'm going to let down. And what that does is it allows you to isolate your anchor from the rest of your shot process. And that's extremely important because in competition, we have a lot of stuff going on. And we need to know when something feels wrong so that we can quickly diagnose it, correct it, move on, and have a really great scoring round. Okay, so back tension. A lot of people have difficulty with finding your back tension. A stretchy band is a great way to find your back tension. And I'm going to explain how I do this. So after I transfer, you have all that tension in your back, right? But that, until you get that feeling for that first time, you don't really know what it feels like, right? Because we do the exercises where we squeeze our shoulder together, you know, we lift them up and down, and we talk about using our big muscles in our back. But until we find it that first time, back tension is kind of like a unicorn. It's really, really hard to find. And so, what I like to do for a back tension exercise, so I'm going to come up into my anchor and I'm going to transfer, right? And I'm just going to practice squeezing my muscles. And you see how all you can see is my arm moving? You see my draw arm moving. All that motion is coming from my back muscles. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn around so that you can see what it looks like from the back. And this is another great time to use video so that you can see what your back actually looks like and how that feeling and that look go together. Okay, so here we go. Just make sure I'm in the frame. I'm going to go through, I'm going to sit up, and I'm going to transfer. And what you're going to see is you're going to see my scapula. And I'm just going to use my muscle to contract. And you can see my scapula move. Did you see it? Hopefully you saw it. because what you're looking for is that outline of your scapula, of that big shoulder bone in your back. So I'm going to do my shot process from the back so that you can see what the transfer, back tension, release look like. Make sure we're in the frame. Here we go. Excellent. Did you see it? I'm going to do it one more time. And that's it. Those are 3 really great stretchy band exercises for you to do at home, maybe while you're traveling, or maybe while you're stuck inside during the 2020 zombie adjacent staycation. On our X10 YouTube site, you can see a lot of great videos from me, from Coach Linda, and from our other teammates at X10. Now, if you want to subscribe to the premium content where we are going to go through some more stretchy band exercises, also journaling, goal setting, learning how to use a shot trainer. Those are all things that you can find with premium content. So I hope you enjoyed our video. If you have any suggestions or questions, please put them in the comments, because we want to know what you want to see from us, because we want to provide the content that you need. So I hope you have a great afternoon, and we will see you next time.